This video is sponsored by Brilliant. Hey, Marcus House with you here. We're kicking things off this week with all the latest Starship developments and what we can expect possibly in the new year. The 26th and final SpaceX launch of 2020 with NROL-108 lifting off from Kennedy Space Center, a quick update on the status of the returned moon sample mission from China's Chang'e 5 mission. In this holiday season, we also take a look at the Pocket rocket app, some cool fun to be had here. We had Lockheed Martin purchasing Aerojet Rocketdyne. Where did that come from? And in the finale to round off yet another busy week and this final video for 2020, we take a look at some of the favourite moments of the year as voted by our fantastic Discord members.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
So this week in Starship Updates, we are going to be talking a lot about Starship serial number 9 because this is hopefully going to be the next beast to fly. Over the last few weeks, we've been a little worried about the structural integrity of the vessel here after the mishap that saw the base stand partially collapse with the ship there rapidly tilting over into the high bay. That damaged the forward fin and aft fin on that side of the ship quite extensively, as it appears though that luckily seems to have provided a crumple zone of sorts that we can safely assume allowed the main hull to remain structurally sound to the point that SN9's testing schedule could continue. SN9's repair work has progressed over the past week with both the damaged fore and aft flaps being replaced. So yes, it does seem that all of the hinges, motors, as well as the internal structures are a-okay. During the road closure window on Monday, SpaceX rolled that massive crane from the production area to the launch site to prepare for placing SN9 on the launch mount. Thanks a heap as well for the coverage there, as always, by Boca Chica Gal with NASA Spaceflight. Nice work there, Mary. Now on Tuesday morning, the fully complete Starship SN9 was rolled out of the production area at 11 AM and it began its journey down to the launch pad, arriving at Pad B at 2 PM to begin its final initial phase of testing. Just check out the wonderful view from above here by RGV Aerial Photography. Just incredible work there by Mauricio. Now just check out the scene here from this video. We see here the two red self-propelled modular transporters attached together to move the first fully stacked prototype, which I think is quite interesting. We had assumed weeks ago that the 4 SPMTs that were joined together would be used to move SN9 when the time came, but our assumption there, for whatever reason, was incorrect. So it was instead moved to the pad on the two red SPMTs that we see here. Perhaps the intention was that it would be used for the super heavy prototype. Interested in all of your thoughts on that? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, if you are like me and missed at the time where this beast ended up, it was moved as shown here by Mary's photos. Where did it move to? That we can see from RGV Aerial Photography's photos here, way down the back of the facility here close to the solar farm. This is the best shot I've seen of that rig too. Missing, of course, is the short stand that will be connected between the two sections. So this is the first time that we've seen a full-scale Starship hoisted up onto the new pad like this, as SN9 only had 2 of the 3 Raptors installed before it was moved to the pad, just days after its third Raptor, Raptor SN49, was also moved onto the launch site for installation onto the Starship. It's interesting as well that we've seen it come up to Pad B here rather than Pad A. I wonder if we could end up seeing SN10 come down to Pad A so that we could be seeing 2 fully stacked Starships at the site. Elon answered my query on this, indicating that this could be coming soon. I guess that all depends how long it takes for SN9 to fly and how long it takes for SN10 to be completed. So as far as we know at this point, the initial tests for SN9 will include a cryogenic liquid nitrogen test and a static fire verifying that the vehicle is sound for the 12.5 kilometer flight, just like SN8's. But hopefully this time, of course, they will manage to land the beast. Now, it was a spectacular sight seeing the first fully stacked Starship prototype being moved to the pad along Highway 4. Starship SN8, of course, was moved to the pad in 2 pieces, which were stacked together on the pad. Seeing that 50-meter high Starship SN9 being moved alongside regular-sized road vehicles, you really do get an idea just how massive these vehicles are. In the aftermath of SN8's spectacular demise, the cleanup is complete with just the nose cone still remaining. We expect this to be moved to a more permanent location, almost as a monument and tribute to the first significant full-scale Starship flight. Elon here agreed to S Padre on this one, saying that it should be preserved in memory of SN8. Where that final resting place may be, we are not yet sure. Now over here as well, we've been keeping an eye on the orbital launch pad. We can see the SpaceX team there doing a lot of groundwork, laying down conduit and possibly pipes to connect the orbital launch mount to the tank farm. We are watching that closely. We've seen a self-propelled modular transporter pick up a mobile office from the production site and move it down all the way to the launch area as well. So quite a lot of logistical work there happening this week at the same time. Heading back over to the construction site, work hasn't stopped there either. We've seen further progress on Starship serial number 10, with the nose cone barrel section moved into the low bay, equipped with those lead-ins or guides to help the stacking and attachment process. The nose cone was then promptly stacked on top, interestingly with that missing flap. Last week we said we thought that it was being stolen from SN10 to use on SN9. I believe that was the case, not that it should matter because we will soon see a replacement delivered to Boca Chica soon to take its place. Now SpaceX also released a video recap of SN8's high altitude flight. Lots of new B-roll shots here with a couple that stand out for me. Firstly, this view of the 3 Raptors firing up here from the camera pointing up from the pad shows a new vantage point that we haven't seen before. SpaceX also had a drone in the sky to capture SN8's flip maneuver and landing burn with stunning high quality video. The closing words in this recap video truly sum up the sheer significance that was this flight. SN8 demonstrated a first of its kind controlled aerodynamic descent and a landing flip maneuver. Together, these will enable landing where no runways exist, including the Moon, Mars and beyond. Next up is SN9. So yes, 2020 has been super exciting for Starship development, and by this time next year, what will have been achieved is going to blow people's mind. Now, I've had a lot of people asking if we will see crewed launches of Starship next year, to which I say absolutely not. This is not to say we won't see astounding progress, of course. Crewed missions are going to occur far into the future. Elon Musk said during the year that Starship will only carry crew after many uncrewed flights, perhaps even hundreds. I suspect instead we will first be seeing an incredibly high launch frequency, sending a range of dummy payloads before what I predict will be some extraordinary Starlink missions. Once the launch frequency and safety statistics are at a point acceptable for crewed flight, that is when we will see talk of a crewed mission. I, for one, am looking forward to the massive number of launches that we're going to see before we even get close to that point, and we will be covering it all every week, so hit that subscribe button there to stay up to date. Almost at 250,000 subscribers there. I thought we might make it prior to the new year, so very close now. Thanks so much for all of your support during the entire year. Also, just a little shout out for the amazing list of 3D artists that have put together this brilliant initiative to create kids' rocket drawings in 3D. Just check out these amazing transformations. We have the drawing by 9-year-old Aaron here, created by Corey. Quite a Starship looking rocket there, Aaron, nice one. Neopork's conversion there of the design by Lever. Is that an aerospike I see there? Very cool. Casper Stanley created this epic number from 7-year-old Hanny there. 6 stars, dude. And yes, there are more that have been released since I filmed this segment. Just an amazing effort there, everyone. I'd love to see this again next year. Now, SpaceX had planned to launch the NROL-108 mission on December 17th until an issue stopped the countdown. Elon tweeting here of a slightly high upper stage pressure in the liquid oxygen tank. On Saturday, December 19th, it was time to head back to Kennedy Space Center with issues resolved. It was time for the 26th and final launch for SpaceX for 2020. The countdown proceeded without issue this time, and liftoff as we saw there. Just brilliant coverage here with the nice helicopter footage of the Falcon 9 booster ascent and such a clear view of the uphill climb there. With the main engine cutoff and second stage separation, this is where the coverage placed greater emphasis on the booster return due to the classified nature of the payload and the inability to broadcast the launch process beyond that first stage separation. Just amazing views there from the tracking camera of the first stage firing its RCS thrusters as the booster orients itself for touchdown back on landing zone 1. After the boost back burn completed, it was just great to watch the final moments of the descent here with the landing zone off to the left obscured in the grid fin. Just watch as the Merlin engines kick in and the grid fins whip the booster into alignment straight down to the pad for the 70th successful Falcon 9 booster recovery. That is quite a year. If you haven't checked out Greg Scott's photography, do yourself a favour and head to his website or Twitter. Links are in the description below. These are just fantastic images capturing the moment yet again. This was Booster 1059, and this was the 5th launch and landing, with it first shooting the now obsolete Cargo Dragon up on the CRS-19 and CRS-20 missions. It launched a Starlink mission on the 13th of June this year and the SOCOM 1B mission. Another amazing booster life there, and thanks Greg for allowing us to use your images during 2020. Love your work. What a way for SpaceX to end the year. To everyone at SpaceX and the launch recovery facilities, we wish you all a wonderful happy season and a happy new year. We'll be watching very close in 2021. Now, China's Chang'e 5 moon samples have been taken to the lab over the last week after the sample return the week prior. Given the big success that China's National Space Agency has had with this intricate lunar exploration mission, the officials have expressed their willingness to cooperate with scientists from other countries in the act of analysing these samples to the best of their ability. This willingness to share, I think, is a very good gesture, so I'd love to hear more of what other nations have found when comparing data. Of course, the capsule itself re-entered the atmosphere, landing at 1:59 AM on December 17th. An air team and ground team chased down the prize, confirming the touchdown location, and then they set up that vital communication system to communicate the find. Chang'e 5 was transported by air to Beijing, and shortly after came the announcement by China's National Space Administration that the mission had been a great success, and again, more suggestion of the excitement to work with those other nations. This is a first for China, and it makes them the 3rd ever country to obtain samples from the surface of the moon, an incredible achievement that brings them another step closer in the Chinese lunar exploration program. The next step, estimated in 2024, will be another lunar orbiter, lander and sample return mission, which will land at a currently unknown site near the lunar South Pole. Congratulations to everyone involved in this spectacular mission. Now, a big piece of news dropped earlier this week regarding the rocket engine manufacturer Aerojet Rocketdyne being purchased by Lockheed Martin. Big news there, and we'll talk about that more in a moment, but first, a big thanks to my sponsor, Brilliant. This entire year, growing my channel would have been much more difficult without the continued sponsorship. The team at Brilliant has not only helped fund what I do to stay consistent with regular videos for you, but they've also provided advice that has quite literally helped to steer the channel towards the success that we've all had this year. As we round out the end of 2020, I super appreciate the impact that Brilliant's educational content has made to help people stay engaged while being at home. Over 8 million people on Brilliant's platform is proof alone of the power of this form of learning. If you're looking for a gift that nurtures creativity and develops problem-solving skills in this festive season, I highly recommend the Brilliant Premium subscription. Help your loved ones access thought-provoking content that breaks up complex topics into bite-sized, understandable lessons. Help them guide themselves from curiosity to mastery. There are over 60 courses here that combine storytelling, code writing, and interactive challenges to keep the topics engaging. As it is almost the new year, that means it is a great time to explore the fundamentals of mathematics once again. There are many essential problem-solving techniques required to think creatively and strategically to solve each of the challenges found here. This is one of the greatest things I think about Brilliant's learning material. It isn't about memorizing formulas, it's about problem solving. It's about looking at patterns and predicting the future of those patterns. For anyone that is naturally curious and would like to build up those problem solving skills, Brilliant is a great place to start. You can sign up and at the same time also support me here by heading to brilliant.org/MarcusHouse. That will give the first 200 people 20% off for the first year of Brilliant Premium. The link is in the description below. So yes, Lockheed Martin has begun a purchase of Aerojet Rocketdyne and all their assets to incorporate them into their portfolio, which before this namely included the Orion Deep Space Crew Capsule for the Space Launch System. SLS, of course, is unsurprisingly also a customer of Aerojet Rocketdyne, with them manufacturing the RS-25 engines for the core stage. Now, with Rocketdyne included into the Lockheed portfolio, we can potentially see a major difference in the general look of the space industry, and especially in the government market in the future. Lockheed Martin, Boeing and Northrop Grumman will be the three primary contractors for the SLS rocket, excluding the European service module. Together, these three control the vast majority of the building and propulsion systems for the vehicle. Putting all of that together, it can be argued that Lockheed Martin purchasing Aerojet Rocketdyne is an attempt to reduce overhead costs to become more competitive against providers such as SpaceX. But in the end, it may benefit other programs as well, such as the Space Launch System. Going back in history a little, Aerojet and and Rocketdyne were both separate companies until 2013 when Aerojet bought out Rocketdyne and merged their businesses. But even before that merger, Rocketdyne has been producing rocket engines since the 1960s, aiding the American Apollo program to land humans on the moon. The legendary F-1 rocket engine and the J-2 upper stage engine were both designed and produced by Rocketdyne for the Saturn V rocket in that ultimate goal. Since then, Rocketdyne has produced many more engines, including the incredible RS-25 used as the main space shuttle engines. Could this merger allow much more cost-effective production to occur? Let me know your thoughts. The last estimated cost of an RS-25 engine I saw was staggering, but as time goes by, they are predicted to drop. Remember that this is an engine currently to be completely disposed of with expendable flights of the Space Launch System. Let's hope that efficiencies over time can dramatically reduce those costs. Now, some very neat news here with the Pocket Rocket app that lets you easily stay in touch with all of your SpaceX launches. Now that the launches are over for 2020, the Pocket Rocket team have been working hard again and wanted to thank the community for their support this year by bringing the holiday to some of our favourite rockets. Yep, for the remainder of the year, Pocket Rocket is themed for the holidays. The team has created a special winter animation that you can see in the app with all of the rockets sporting the Santa hat. If you think that those are particularly cute, well, you can see them all yourself in augmented reality. The team has updated that mode to allow you to take photos of the scene while integrating Apple's people occlusion technology to allow someone to pose naturally in front of the rocket. They've even rendered beautiful backgrounds of SpaceX's Dragon capsule formatted for smartphones and tablets. They've also recently updated their Starship and Super Heavy models to match SpaceX's latest designs as well, and the new textures on the models make them look even more completely lifelike. It is just stunning. For those unfamiliar, once you download the app, all the functionality is available to you, and you can also do a free month-long trial to receive launch updates for delays and reschedules as well as Starship tests so that you never miss another launch. Awesome work there, team. I love this app. Now, as promised, and before we say our final goodbye to you for the year, here are our favourite moments of 2020 as voted by myself, the team, and our fantastic Discord members. Good luck, Bob and Doug.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug. America has launched.
All for one, crew one for all. Bye, everyone.
Heralds really is fundamentally a new era in spaceflight, a new era in space exploration. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to have a base on the moon. We're going to send people to Mars, and make life multiplanetary. And I think this day heralds a new age of space exploration. That's what it's all about.
Now, this year has been something, hasn't it? There have been certainly times when it's all seemed a little too much to handle on my own, and you incredible patrons right there, plus many more, have helped change my world. I've been able to reduce the time I spend in other roles to be more dedicated to just doing this. I've been able to work with other incredible people and help fund them to work with me as well. Brenton has been with me most of the year, relentlessly helping. Since around August, I think, Brenton began working with me as we cross-promoted his passion for keeping us all up to date with these wonderful diagrams going from no following at all to well over 10,000. Adam, also known as GameplayReviewUK, at a similar time began working with me as well and is helping weekly with video editing. None of this was possible before all of you began helping right there. It isn't just me thanking you, it's all of us. You've given us all an opportunity to work in this dream role. Thank you. Thank you so much. In January, I passed 100,000 subscribers. Now we are just coming up to 250,000, and you all there are a huge part of that growth and success of this channel. Sincerely, it means the world to me and the production team, all involved in the quality control squad. If you like what we're doing and you would like to see us doing even more, head to patreon.com/MarcusHouse. Becoming a patron lets you connect with us all in the exclusive Discord channels directly. You get earlier access to videos. You can also have your name listed right here like all of these other incredible people. To my volunteers just helping because they love it, give it up for the quality control squad here, helping us out just because they're all amazing. If you're interested in helping or even in the future becoming a more dedicated part of the production crew, follow me on Twitter and please do get in touch. In the tile in the bottom left today, we have my video just days ago talking about in situ resource utilization and why this is such a key component for SpaceX's goals for Mars colonization. In the top right is my latest video, and in the bottom right, content that YouTube has selected from my channel just for you. Thank you everyone for watching all this time. Have a wonderful holiday season and new year, and we'll see you all in 2021.